DDP and his team want to take on Khamzat next in February. That's UFC 312 February 8th in Sydney, Australia. Strickland would have an absolute meltdown if that did happen because he was told he was going to get the next title shot. But the UFC doesn't care about that. Their verbal promises don't mean anything. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to do what's best for business. Maybe that comes down to who sells more pay-per-views, and I don't even know the answer to that. If Khamzat sells more, if Strickland sells more, I don't know who sells more pay-per-views. Or maybe it just comes down to timing. Khamzat is fresh off a sensational first-round stoppage victory over Robert Whittaker, steamrolling the number 3 guy who's a former champ in the division and an all-time great at 185. That win is fresh in everybody's minds, and a lot of people have forgotten about Strickland's decision victory over Paulo Costa. This business is often dictated by what have you done for me lately, and Khamzat's done a lot. So Dana may give him a shot. You can't go wrong booking this fight. It's going to be insane. Khamzat fights like an absolute psychopath coming out of the gate, and DDP also fights like a crazy person. Ridiculous, cartoonish movement that shouldn't work, but work perfectly. The lead up to the fight will be pretty insane as well. It doesn't take much to set off Khamzat, but DDP's trash talk is different. He makes grown men cry. He's gonna make Khamzat lose his mind at the press conference. He's gonna make him want to kill him, and it's gonna make the fight more intriguing. I think based on timing and entertainment value, the fight they should go with is Khamzat versus DDP, and then Strickland could do the rematch with DDP if DDP wins, and if Khamzat wins, Khamzat versus Strickland is also a good fight. They will discuss these options at the UFC's matchmaking meeting this week, and if Khamzat doesn't get the DDP fight, maybe he can fight Bryce Mitchell's dog.
I've been talking to Lou ever since the Khamzat fight.
Did he say Khamzat?
I've been talking to Lou ever since the Khamzat fight, and I think he's the only one that wants to fight Khamzat. He said, send him the papers and he's ready. Isn't that right? Oh yeah, he's ready. He wants Khamzat.
If DDP were to beat Khamzat, that would be an incredible run. Beating Whittaker, Strickland, Adesanya, and Khamzat in 4 fights.
Sam, coach, how do you think Khamzat would do against Riley Reid? Riley Reid, who's Riley Reid? Let's see. Okay, that's some girl. I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me that. Smash.
In the new rankings, which came out on Tuesday, Khamzat made a huge leap, 10 spots in the rankings, a huge climb, 10 spots to number 3 behind Adesanya and Strickland. 10 guys drop 1 spot, including Robert Whittaker, who drops from number 3 to number 4 in the rankings. Imavov, who's right behind Whittaker in the rankings at number 5, could be his next opponent. Number 6 ranked Bohayo may be taking on Adesanya next. He's back in Brazil after a 15-hour flight. I'm already in my 2nd training of the day. When the call comes, I will be ready. The next one will be big. Also in the middleweight division, after his victory over the weekend over Armen Petrosyan, Shara Bullet Magomedov enters the rankings in number 14 position. He debuts at 14, and as a result, Chris Curtis is taken out of the rankings. Magomedov has had a really good past 4 months, 3 fights, 3 wins, 3 performance bonuses. He wants to be the most active fighter on the UFC roster. One hurdle to that, though, is that he's not able to fight in the United States. No commission is going to sanction him fighting with one eye. Too bad that will impact his activity. Fans love watching him fight. He's doing a lot of flashy, creative, entertaining stuff, which works. A lot of people do flashy, creative, entertaining stuff that's useless, but he's getting knockouts with highly innovative stuff like double spinning back fists like he did over Petrosyan. But for now, he's solely fighting in the Middle East. All his UFC fights have been there. 4 fights, 3 of them took place in Abu Dhabi and 1 in Riyadh, so maybe putting him on the Riyadh show February 1st at the Kingdom Arena would make sense. After the victory, he called out Adesanya. Adesanya just laughed it off, but a fight that might make sense is Shara Bullet Magomedov versus Michel Pereira. That could be a crazy striking battle. A lot of wild kicks, punches, and spinning shit. After his knockout loss over the weekend to Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway drops 1 spot to the number 12 position in the pound-for-pound rankings, and taking his spot, moving up 1 spot, is Pantoja at number 11. Number 10 is Alexander Volkanovski. As impressive as the victory was, Ilia Topuria does not move up any spots in the pound-for-pound rankings. He's number 4, number 3 is John Jones, number 2 Alex Pereira, and number 1 Islam Makhachev. This could change in November when John Jones fights, and in January when Makhachev is expected to fight next. Magomed Ankalaev now has sole possession of the number 1 contender spot in the division. Before he was tied with Prohashka, but after his victory over the weekend over Alexander Rakic, Ankalaev now is solely number 1, and he has the next title shot according to Dana White. Lerone Murphy moved up 1 spot to the number 11 position after his victory over Dan Ige over the weekend. He wants to take on number 8 ranked Josh Emmett next. Sergei Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik added a UFC Saudi Arabia Fight Night card on February 1st. A win against Rozenstruik would get Pavlovich back on track after his loss to Volkov. It would reestablish himself as a top contender in the division. Right now he's ranked number 4 at heavyweight. A loss would be a major setback. That'd be 3 in a row, and it would cast doubt on his ability to compete with elite fighters in the division. For Rozenstruik, a win over Pavlovich would be a huge upset and a big boost for his career. It would prove he can still compete at a high level. Right now he's ranked number 9 in the heavyweight division. Jakar Close versus Joel Alvarez confirmed for December 14th in Tampa, Florida. Joel Alvarez, if he wins, will probably be by stoppage. Every single one of his victories have been by stoppage. 21 wins, 21 stoppages, 17 submissions, 4 knockouts. If the UFC ever goes to Spain, which they expected to do next year, he will be on that card. Bruno Silva says he's had anxiety and mental health issues for the past 4 years, and he says that it manifested in his fight over the weekend with Ismail Nardiev. You could see that during the fight. It looked like he was just walking away at certain points. Nardiev looked very good though. Great in all aspects of the game, en route to a unanimous decision victory in his comeback to the UFC. Joe Rogan says since there seems to be an issue where the Trump podcast is difficult to search on YouTube, I've uploaded it to X. Also, for the record, the Harris campaign said they didn't pass on doing the podcast. They offered a date for Tuesday, but I would have to travel to her, and they only wanted to do an hour. I strongly feel the best way to do it is in the studio in Austin. My sincere wish is just to have a nice conversation and get to know her as a human being. I really hope we can make it happen.
Our children's future depends on you. I have everything to lose and nothing to gain besides the future of our country. I hope you make the right choice. I'm not telling who you to vote for, but I'm telling you one thing. If you want to vote for the future of this country of America, vote for our sovereignty.
No, it's fine.
Just a little tape.
Nah, bro, that shit hurt. Put some water on this shit. Good Lord.